I understand that every team in Dynasty Fantasy Football is built differently, and I'm a huge proponent of get your guy, and a huge part of Dynasty is building the team that you want. But I think the new saying that people should follow is get your guy without getting robbed. So I'm the Kodiak, and today I'm going to be going over some garbage trades that I've seen in Dynasty. Trade number one. This actually happened in my main league. This is called the Grand League. So PK sent Keenan Allen in his 2022 first, and Eric sent Cooper Kupp in 2022 third. Now, Keenan for Cooper, this doesn't seem that bad. I mean, these guys are pretty equal, I guess, in terms of value. But PK gave up his 22 first-round pick, and his team is not good. It's not going to be competitive. He doesn't have his 21 first because he's a huge Bucks homer, and he traded it away for Keyshawn Vaughn, too. And that just makes this trade terrible for everyone involved besides Eric. Okay, so you see PK's team on the screen right now. I mean, it could be way, way worse, but you also have to remember that he took Darren Waller in the second round of our startup draft a few months ago. And also, you look at his bench, it is just not a pretty sight, especially now that Damian Williams has opted out. I mean, looking at his team, he could win some games here and there, but you also have to remember he doesn't have his 21 first-round pick. He traded it to the same guy that he made the Kupp for Allen deal with. And even in a 14-team league, keep in mind this is 14 teams, where depth is king, and his bench is just not good. I don't know why he made this trade. PK, if you're watching this, I know you're a great guy, but it's just not a pretty sight. Deal number two. Eric sent Marvin Jones in his 21 first-round pick, and in return, he got Tyler Johnson, a 21 second, and a 22 first. Now, to be completely honest, I have absolutely no idea why Eric made this trade. I guess he saw it as a 2 picks for 1 sort of thing, but as of right now, it's 2020. We do not care about the 22 draft class, and I'll show you Eric's team on the screen right now as well. Russell Wilson, Aaron Jones, Cam Akers, Adam Thielen, Henry Ruggs, Noah Fant, Darius Slayton. Aaron Jones was his first-round pick in the startup, and Aaron Jones was lightning in a bottle. And yes, he is very good, but his split with and without Devontae Adams in the lineup is just not great. Adam Thielen's either 29 or 30, I can't remember off the top of my head. The Vikings are becoming a run-first offense, and they drafted Justin Jefferson in the first round. I actually do really like Akers and Ruggs. Fant is also a pretty good tight end option as well. I don't think he'll get the volume to ever be, one of those elite guys, but I'm a Broncos fan. Anyone who saw him play last year could tell that, yeah, he could play. But again, in Dynasty Leagues, depth is king. His bench, Gardner Minshew, Giovanni Bernard, Marlon Mack, A.J. Dillon, Robbie Anderson, Tyler Johnson, Jared Cook. There is a solid chance that half the guys on his bench have little to no Dynasty value at the end of 2021. Bernard is good for only a few receptions a game. Marlon Mack, as soon as Taylor takes over, Marlon Mack is done. A.J. Dillon is terrible, man. I cannot believe Green Bay took him in the second round, but I mean, I guess as the Jones owner, it makes sense to get him. Robbie Anderson, Teddy Bridgewater just can't throw it deep. Jared Cook could be good too this upcoming season, but I wouldn't get him without pairing him with Adam Troutman. Dynasty is all about playing the long game, and I'm going to be completely honest, I don't see a world where Eric is competitive in 20 or 21, at least until 22 when he gets that first round pick from Andrew. But yeah, enough of me talking trash about my friends. Let's see what people in the community have done. Oh boy, get ready for this one. Christian McCaffrey for Austin Eckler, Jonathan Taylor, 4 first-round picks, and 1 second-round pick. Man, that trade is just beyond terrible. I mean, you could still build a solid team with all that draft capital and Eckler and Taylor. What if Christian McCaffrey were to tear his ACL and then he was never the same? You just gave up Eckler, JT, and 4 first-round picks to get him. And yeah, I completely understand that first-round picks are question marks, but still. In Dynasty, like I said, depth is king. Another one, 12-team Superflex startup. This guy on Discord gave the 101 for the 106, 21 first and second, and 22 first and second. So assuming it's Superflex and the top 4 are CMC, Lamar, Saquon, and Mahomes in any order, the dude basically moved down from McCaffrey or Mahomes to Kamara or Zeke, and he got 2 firsts and 2 seconds in the process. To be quite honest, I said get your guy, but I just don't see a world where I'd be fine making that trade, especially in a startup draft. Team 1 gets OBJ. Team 2 gets Kupp, Cousins, Edelman, 19 second, 19 third, 20 first, 21 first, 21 second, 21 third. And another note, this was just after OBJ got traded to the Browns, and Team 1 was star hunting and still doesn't regret the deal. Okay, if you guys are making these sort of trades for one guy and you're playing in a money league, you were just throwing money down the drain. This is why it's a bad idea to fully go into hype trains, because Odell Beckham Jr. is not seen as the same dynasty asset as he was last offseason. Okay, this one's a flat-out league ruiner. Kelsey and a 21 first for Gronk. A few months ago, Gronk was a wrestler, and this guy traded a top 3 tight end and a 21 first for him. And to add insult to injury, the 21 first will be the 101. So he traded Kelsey and Chase or ETN or whoever it is, we can't look that far into the future, for Gronk. DeAndre Hopkins in a 24th for David Johnson, a 22nd, and a 21 fourth. What kind of idiot would ever do that? Okay, this isn't worst trade, but worst move. This guy traded for Ray Rice about 2 hours before the video dropped. That's just bad luck, man. Nothing you can really do about that. This guy was trying to unload Marlon Mack for picks, so he traded him for Kerryon Johnson. That's brutal because they're both getting replaced. Man, this guy needs to take some ibuprofen for his rookie fever. He traded Alvin Kamara for pick 107 and Allen Robinson for pick 108. And in the rest of this, he's wondering, like, oh, who could I get? I also want to do a mock draft. Well, I can tell you who you're going to get at the 107. It's nobody fucking near Kamara. 108, maybe you could get lucky that Judy or Lamb falls and they pop off, but a first-round pick that ended up being Leonard Fournette and Melvin Gordon after his rookie season for Kelvin Benjamin. Okay, Kelvin Benjamin was good for a while, but then he ate a Big Mac and it all went downhill. Manning for Whedon straight up, and it was the season where Manning set the record for touchdowns. Kamara and a first for Watkins. Okay, are we still going to try to make Sammy Watkins a thing based off of 2 good seasons he had earlier in his career? We're going to go back to Discord. A, Todd Gurley. B, Devontae Parker and DJ Chark. Okay, nobody still likes Todd Gurley for Dynasty. If you do, I don't know what to tell you. We're going to move to worst asking prices. This guy was trying to get Madison. I assume he's the Cook owner, and he said he wanted Mike Evans straight up for Madison. Okay, everybody overvalues their own assets. It just happens in Dynasty, but man, Mike Evans for a backup running back, that ain't happening. Just about an hour ago, got offered Tevin Coleman and the 211 for A.J. Brown. Noah Fant for his 21 fourth-round pick. Here's a trade offer I got like a month ago. I would send JT and I would get Howard Montgomery in a first. I completely understand that throughout Howard's career, all he's done is produce on the ground, but he is just not a good fantasy asset. Montgomery might be the least athletic running back in the league, and the Bears are just terrible. And a 21 first does not move the needle for me at all. From the same person, Montgomery, a 21 first, a 21 second for CEH. Okay, here's another one I got. And like I said, this is a 14-team league where depth is king. I would get Cook and Madison. I would send A-Rob, Hardman, Dobbins, 21 first, 21 second. Now, the guy who proposed me this is Tom, and he said he's flat out fine with tanking, which, okay, you want to tank, go ahead and fucking tank. But if any of you are out there and you're trying to trade Cook or Cook and Madison combined, there is just a 0% chance anybody will give you this haul. But to his credit, that guy ended up getting A.J. Brown and 2 firsts next year for Cook and Madison, so... Andrews for Hilton and Hurst. This was right after the startup draft, so if I wasn't high on Andrews, I just wouldn't have taken him where I got him. Man, I'm just scrolling through my camera roll. I have way too many bad trades in here. When we were doing our startup, I got proposed the 16th pick for 2 fifth-rounders. Man, guys, I'm looking at this one, and I'm just wondering why I didn't accept it. Okay, I feel kind of bad about this one. This guy, admittedly, is just in our league for culture. He doesn't really care about fantasy. I traded the 4th overall pick, and I got the 10th and 19th. And at 4th overall, he didn't get Zeke or Kamara. He took Tyreek Hill. And then with those 2 picks, I got Mixon and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So when we were first doing our startup draft, I had the 102, and I traded that for the 109 and the 37th pick. Now, I didn't keep the 109 or the 37th pick, but like I said, in Dynasty, depth is king. Alright, so I'm on Twitter now. Travis Kelce and Deebo Samuel for Eifert, Mack, and Hurts in Superflex. Superflex or not, that is just god-awful. It's tight end premium too, so Kelce is one of the more valuable assets. Also, in your leagues, there should be a stupidity clause. I don't think any trade should be vetoed unless there's obvious collusion going on. This guy took over an orphan team and traded Christian McCaffrey for Amari Cooper, and this tweet is from a year ago, so you can only imagine how this guy felt watching McCaffrey go for 1,000 last year. This guy traded James Conner for a 3rd-round pick when Bell hadn't reported yet. Okay, to be fair, I can't shit on this guy that much because I did something similar in a redraft league. Okay, speaking of terrible offers, 206 in the Miles Sanders for 203. His reply when asked, why would I do that? I gotta start somewhere. You shouldn't go into a deal looking to rob someone. I mean, if you can rob someone, all power to you, but Darren Waller for Dante Pettis, Austin Eckler for Reuben Foster, Mahomes in a first for Burton, Penny, Brady, and Gronk 2 years ago. Okay, I guess he won the championship, so it doesn't hurt that bad, but still. Okay, guys, I hope you've enjoyed just looking at some of the bad moves that people have made in Dynasty leagues. And remember, hindsight is 20/20, so we could look back at this next offseason and be like, wow, some of these trades weren't that bad. Thank you guys for watching. I'm the Kodiak. Subscribe if you are not already. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter. Link is right there or in the description below. Have a good day, and peace out.